My sister told the police I was holding someone captive in my house. When SWAT broke down the door, the officer in charge ended up apologizing to me. Sophie and I were having our evening reading time when the megaphone shook the windows. I walked to the window and couldn't believe what I was seeing. 8 police vehicles lining the street, officers crouched behind car doors with weapons drawn, and my sister Rachel standing beside a detective pointing at our house. My phone had been buzzing for 20 minutes with calls from an unknown number. I'd ignored them. It was reading time. The megaphone came again. "We know you're holding a young girl against her will. You have 3 minutes to comply before we breach." Sophie looked up at me with wide, confused eyes, her book sliding off her lap. My hands were shaking as I dialed 911. I told the operator my name, my address, and that the girl they were looking for was my daughter. She put me on hold. Sophie started crying and asked why the police were pointing guns at our house. I pulled her close and told her everything was going to be fine, even though my heart was hammering. Through the window, I could see Rachel gesturing wildly at the detective, showing him something on her phone. She had been trying to get custody of Sophie for 6 months, ever since my wife died. She'd claimed I was unfit, unstable, that Sophie deserved a mother figure in her life. Every court hearing had gone in my favor because there was simply nothing wrong with how I was raising my daughter. Apparently, Rachel had decided to try a different approach. The operator came back and told me to open the front door with my hands visible. I told Sophie to stay in her room, took a breath, and walked to the door. The second it opened, 3 officers rushed me and pinned me against the wall. One zip-tied my wrists while another ran upstairs. I heard Sophie scream, "Daddy!" and every instinct in my body told me to break free, but they held me down. Commander Walsh, the SWAT team leader, was the last one through the door. He was reading something on a tablet, expression grim. I told him Sophie was upstairs in her bedroom where she'd been all evening. From outside, Rachel's voice cut through. "He's lying. I haven't seen my niece in weeks. He won't let anyone near that house." Walsh went upstairs. I could hear Sophie crying harder. He came back down 30 seconds later carrying her, and she was reaching for me with everything she had. He set her down and she ran straight to me, even though my hands were still bound behind my back. Walsh picked up his radio. "Stand down. The child is safe. I repeat, stand down." Then he turned to the officer beside me. "Get those off him. Now." As they cut the zip ties, Walsh crouched down to Sophie's level and asked her gently if this was her daddy. She nodded, still sobbing. He asked if I ever hurt her or kept her locked up. She shook her head hard and looked at him with red, tearful eyes. "I love my daddy. Why are you being mean to him?" Walsh's jaw tightened. He asked to see Sophie's room. Her walls were covered in her own artwork. Bookshelves overflowed with novels and toys. A photo collage hung above her desk. The 2 of us at the park, at her school play, at her mother's grave on the anniversary. Her asthma medication sat on the nightstand. Current prescription, properly administered. Her school folder was on the desk. Perfect attendance. Glowing teacher comments. When we came back downstairs, Rachel was at the door with the detective still pushing her story. "He's manipulated her," she said. "Something is wrong. He never leaves that house. He doesn't let Sophie see family." Walsh's voice turned to ice. He asked Rachel when she had last actually seen her niece. She faltered. He didn't wait long before filling in the blanks himself. Sophie was in dance class every Wednesday and Friday. Her pediatrician had seen her 8 days ago for a routine checkup. Her father took her to grief counseling every Monday since her mother passed. Then he turned to me and asked why I hadn't let Rachel visit the week before. I explained that she had shown up drunk at 9 o'clock on a school night, demanding to take Sophie for the weekend with no custody agreement in place. When I asked her to leave, she told me I'd regret it. Walsh looked at Rachel with open disgust. The detective who had come with her stepped forward and laid out what Rachel had provided. Edited photos designed to make it look like Sophie hadn't left the house in weeks, and text messages she claimed contained threats from me. Walsh asked to see my phone. I handed it over without hesitation. Sophie's school photos from 3 days ago, videos from the park last weekend, and a long chain of messages from Rachel threatening to destroy me if I didn't hand over custody. He'd seen enough. Walsh arrested Rachel on the spot, filing a false police report and child endangerment for weaponizing a SWAT team against her own niece.